So let's look at some mechanics for SUMI GAESHI. So SUMI GAESHI should be one of our main go-to techniques from the butterfly guard. So just as a solo movement, what I'm going to look to do is connect to my partner. I can be chest to chest, or we'll look at options where I'm not chest to chest, and my 2 feet are inside. I'm going to tuck my base leg behind me. That's going to be my leg that I'm going to drive off of. And then my other foot is going to stay 90 degrees, just like my leg. It's going to stay in this hook position. As I grab my partner, I'm going to fall to the side here. Now that I fall into the side, I get my foot into balance, and I start to get up onto my knee, and then from my knee onto my leg. And then from here, what I'm going to do is try and hop and scoot in a circle, kind of like I'm forward shrimping almost. And then as I turn, I get up and I turn my partner over by turning my own hips over. I also want to think about looking where I'm throwing. This is a huge detail. You will absolutely get stuffed when you're trying to do this move if you look at your partner. So if I'm here with Ethan, whatever kind of tie up I take, I'm here. If I look at Ethan when I'm hitting this move, it's very hard for me to finish the sweep. The more that I start to turn and look, it sort of elongates my body, and then I can take my partner through. So it's very, very important that you look into whatever corner that you're taking your partner into. So it's almost like you're doing an inversion, right? Like when we practice our solo inversion, we get here, I base up on my toes, and now I go upside down, right? Except I don't want to go so far that I lose control of my balance. I want to keep my foot in base, and then and carry my partner over. So just very, very basic. We can do it in a non-chest to chest fashion where I get a collar tie and an over tie here on the bicep, or I could even go to the wrist. Okay, they're both good. And now from here, I just stuff his head down. My goal is to get his hips above his head. So I just force his head into the floor, and then I engage my hook. Now I'm going to drive off my bottom leg, and I can carry him over to the top position. Can also do it from an underhook. So underhook's going to be more secure. It's also going to open up more chances to go into like shoulder crunches and things like that. So if I did get an underhook, I also, just as a disclaimer, because body locks are very popular, if my partner can sink his weight and his shoulder lower than my shoulder here, as you can see, he's going to be able to body lock me. So when I get my underhook, I got to point my elbow high and make sure that my shoulder is lower than Ethan's shoulder. So when he tries to sink and body lock, I've already got the dominant head position. I'm on the inside, and I have a dominant shoulder position. So now I can grab his elbow, not overhooking it, but just cupping it and pinching. So when he tries to post out, his post is not there. Or alternatively, I could grab the wrist. So this would be like a chest-to-chest SUMI GAESHI. I'm going to fall to the side, drive off my base leg. I'm not going to try and flip him because I want to keep my hook ready to go here and chase him and stay connected to him all the way through. Right, so we'll just do a couple of these sweeps. Right, maybe I'm here. I always encourage when we're drilling this to sort of hand fight a little bit. Get him moving where we're pushing him back and forth. I might even like heist a little bit and give him something to think about here. As he tries to put me back down on the floor, this is a perfect time for me to now fall back and hit a SUMI GAESHI, right? So we're here, a little bit of hand fight, maybe a 2-on-1. Boom, I get to my underhook position. Okay, so now in this situation, Ethan's giving me a response where he pops up to a wide leg, right? And this is very, very common when you're going for this move. So now we're going to look at Hizaguruma, or a knee wheel. So I'm going to take my bottom leg. I'm going to try and touch it somewhere between his shin and his knee. And I'm going to try and lift him a little bit to sweep the leg out. And then I can take him through for SUMI GAESHI. So a big detail for this is my right leg, my hook, is pulling. And my underhook is pulling, and that's going to make that leg light. And at the same time as I'm pulling, I'm just sweeping him over. Right? It's one of my favorite finishes. So from here, we get in. He's going to base out. I'm going to try and move off to the side. I plant. I make the leg light, and I get on top for SUMI GAESHI. Right? So it's just basic SUMI options from the butterfly guard.